नमस्कार, मैं हूं देवांजलि मोइत्रा। 10 मार्च को शाम 5 बजे चुनाव आयोग ने विज्ञान भवन में प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस कर देश के महापर्व आम चुनाव कराने का ऐलान किया और इसी के साथ उन तारीखों का भी ऐलान किया कि किस तरह से और किस पैरामीटर पर चुनाव होंगे और किन लोकसभा क्षेत्र में किस तारीख को चुनाव होगा, वहां लोग किस दिन अपने मताधिकार का प्रयोग करेंगे। चुनाव आयोग ने लोकतंत्र के पर्व आम चुनाव को 7 चरणों में कराने का ऐलान किया है। पहला चरण 11 अप्रैल 91 सीट 20 राज्य। दूसरा चरण 18 अप्रैल 97 सीट 20 राज्य। तीसरा चरण 23 अप्रैल 115 सीट 14 राज्य। चौथा चरण 29 अप्रैल 71 सीट 9 राज्य। पांचवा चरण 6 मई 51 सीट 7 राज्य। छठवां चरण 12 मई 59 सीट 7 राज्य। सातवां चरण 12 मई 59 सीट 8 राज्य। और किस चरण में किस दिन होगा इसका भी जिक्र किया, लेकिन जब सभी तारीखों और नियमों का उल्लेख मुख्य चुनाव आयुक्त कर रहे थे तभी ये भी कहा कि जम्मू कश्मीर में महज 6 सीटों पर 5 चरणों में चुनाव होंगे, लेकिन चौंकाने वाला बयान उसके बाद आया। मुख्य चुनाव आयुक्त ने आगे कहा कि सुरक्षा के लिहाज से अति संवेदनशील मानी जाने वाली अनंतनाग लोकसभा सीट पर 3 चरणों में मतदान कराया जाएगा। जम्मू कश्मीर के अनंतनाग सीट पर तीसरे, चौथे और 5वें राउंड में वोटिंग होगी। तीसरे राउंड में अनंतनाग लोकसभा क्षेत्र की अनंतनाग विधानसभा और चौथे राउंड में कुलगाम विधानसभा में वोट डाले जाएंगे। इसके बाद 5वें राउंड में अनंतनाग लोकसभा क्षेत्र के शोपियां एवं पुलवामा सीट पर मतदान होगा। यहाँ पर एक बात आपको बताते चले कि अनंतनाग पूर्व सीएम महबूबा मुफ्ती का इलाका है। चुनाव आयोग ने इसके कारणों पर कहा कि ये इलाका अति संवेदनशील है और इसी वजह से अनंतनाग सीट पर 3 बार में चुनाव होगा। मुख्य निर्वाचन आयुक्त सुनील अरोड़ा ने कहा कि अनंतनाग सीट पर 3 राउंड में वोटिंग कराने का विचार इसलिए हुआ कि ये इलाका आतंकवाद से सबसे ज्यादा प्रभावित है। हम आपको एक और बात बताते चले कि जम्मू कश्मीर में पहले चरण यानी 11 अप्रैल को 2 सीटों पर वोटिंग होगी। इसके बाद दूसरे राउंड में 18 अप्रैल को भी 2 सीटों पर मतदान होगा। 23 अप्रैल को तीसरे चरण में 1 और फिर 29 को चौथे चरण में 1 सीट पर मतदान होगा। इसके बाद 5वें राउंड में भी 2 सीटों पर वोटिंग होगी। हम आपको यहाँ पर यह भी बताते चले कि दुनिया भर में भारत सबसे बड़ा लोकतंत्र है और यहाँ पर बड़े सावधानी से वोटिंग कराई जाती है। भारत का वोटिंग सिस्टम दुनिया भर में मशहूर है और दुनिया के सभी लोकतंत्र भारत की इस लोकतांत्रिक व्यवस्था की खूब तारीफ करते हैं।
Senior DC in charge of administration and planning from Medicine, all my colleagues from the election commission and all the colleagues from media. As you are aware, the 5-year term of the 16th Lok Sabha is due to expire on 3rd June 2019. Article 324 of the Constitution restores the relevant powers, duties, and also the functions of the election commission. While Section 14 of the Representation of People Act 51 provides for conduct of elections to constitute a new Lok Sabha before the expiry of its current term. Taking into account these constitutional and legal provisions, various judicial pronouncements on issues, the Election Commission of India has account these constitutional and legal provisions, various judicial pronouncements on issues. The Election Commission of India has made, in fact, attempted a very comprehensive preparation for the conduct of election to the 17th Lok Sabha in a manner that is free, fair, inclusive, accessible, ethical, participatory, and also festive. When independent India held its first general and assembly elections during 51-2, not everybody was convinced of our capacity to successfully conduct the exercise. In fact, democracies in the world, then numbering maybe around 40, most of them were very skeptical. But India, by conducting our elections, emerged as a, should I say, beacon light for the emerging democracies all over the world. The scale and complexity of the elections has only grown since then. The population of India increased 3.3 times between 91 and 2001 census. But there are other statistics also which have gone up sharply, as expected. Mahatma Gandhi said, democracy must, in essence, mean the art and science of mobilizing the entire physical, economic, and spiritual resources of all the various sections of people in the service of the common good of all. Keeping all this in view, this commission started preparing for elections for quite some time. We started with organizing a series of meetings with chief electoral officers of all the states and UTs in order to review various aspects of election preparedness. Video conferences with the chief secretaries, DGs, home secretaries, chief electoral officers, and police nodal officers from MHA and as well as from the states were held on 21st, 22nd, and 28th January to assess the overall law and order situation, state or UT specific areas of concern, and deliberate on the quantum of central armed police forces required. Several rounds of discussions were held with the Ministry of Home Affairs at the level of our officers, and we also had an in-depth discussion with the Union Home Secretary and his team. The Commission also held deliberations with several key departments, especially railways, in order to ensure smooth movement and facilitation during the conduct of elections. To get a first-hand knowledge of the status of poll preparedness in the states, we visited several states and UTs to review the poll preparedness. During these visits, there is a standard SOP which is followed by the Commission, and not just us, but before us also. This has been a tradition that first of all we start with interaction with the political parties. After that, we have the presentations by the CEO of the state, the police nodal officer of that state, and the central nodal officer from whichever CPF is designated for that state or UT. After that, we have a fairly in-depth interaction lasting maybe sometimes 10 to 12 hours, if not more, with the collectors, SPs, IGs, commissioners of police, wherever there is commissioner system, and all their colleagues. This is followed by a meeting with the central government regulatory departments, income tax, state excise, central excise, in order to talk about the expenditure monitoring. Then there is a meeting with the Chief Secretary, Home Secretary, and their colleagues, DGP and their colleagues. After doing all this, we report back to the media in a press conference in the state. And same process was followed this time also. While finalizing poll dates, examination schedules of various state boards, CBSE, other relevant factors like various festivals, including festivals which have religious kind of bindings, for example, when people are fasting, etc. Harvest season in certain parts of the country, as well as the inputs obtained from the weather department, are also adequately factored in. In fact, behind the scenes, I would like to tell you that our colleagues, the senior deputy commissioner and all his colleagues, they have been slogging for maybe months together to work out all these things. They do every time. They have done this time also. The Commission firmly believes that the purity of electoral roll is the foundation of credible elections. We have been constantly monitoring the health of the rolls in the country, and after the introduction of Aeronet, now we have a pan-India monitoring systems here in Delhi. The electoral rolls have been revised with reference to 11/2019 as qualifying date. Process of continuous updation shall continue till the last date of filing nominations. Total electorate in the final published roll would be in the vicinity of 900 million compared to 814.5 in 2014.